Okay, it should be back now. Annoyingly, that's going to cut up the video into 2 segments.
I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord. Safe travels.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
First things first, we'll need to get a few of these roofs seen to. Wouldn't want to be caught in a storm without any shelter.
I'd better get this well back in working order. If we're gonna live here, we'll need something to drink.
You just need to fix the rope of the bucket.
Well, there's a lot that needs doing, and no mistake. We'll have to fatten the bearers up a bit so they can pull their weight and actually make a difference.
You thought it was your end? Now I know it's my end.
This was the Murdoch residence. We'll see your home restored, Lord Commander.
It really feels like they're setting up this place to be ether flooded. We're going to lose our ward.
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of me own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
Anything good item-wise? Not particularly. I think I have like 100 meteorites now.
Eastpool's been in ruins for years, so wonder any of it's still standing. But with a bit of lumber, a lick of paint, and a lot of hard work, they'll make a home of it yet.
Are the bearers taking well to their new home, do you know? I sometimes worry how they'll manage without me to cook and clean for them.
They do have hands.
Have you heard the latest from Twinside? That the Empress is no more?
Never
Yes.
trust an owl bearing good news, I say. If it is true, we might finally have a chance to get our country back.
Anything to say about them leaving?
We're all of us glad to see the bearers and the guardians find a home for themselves over in Eastpool. Not least because it feels like we finally got ours back. And for that, I can't thank you enough.
It's going to be all side quests. This is going to be whatever is at the hunt board now. A new missive.
Were it not for the Undying's aid, I would be long dead. Grant them your trust, and they will repay you with their loyalty.
Canva's walls will not hold the Akashic Horde for long. We can only hope they hold it for long enough.
There's barely been a shipment in since the skies started boiling. A few more days without a visit and we'll have to start eating the blankets.
Is she ever going to change her voice line?
Tell me you saw that.
We sent Cursebreakers to Martha's Rest, Dalamil, and Northreach. Hopefully they can help maintain the peace. Or at least a semblance of it.
Cole told us everything that happened. It's a bit of a worry that both the Republican and Imperial armies are in disarray. But it was good to hear that the people stood their ground.
I pity those in the villages.
How may I help you today, Clive? Come
Give
to
me some
claim
good
your just
stuff.
desserts?
It's gonna help me much. Nah. The chap ban.
Over.
And we gotta unlock more stuff.
All done?
Do you like being struck by thunderbolts from on high?
So it's gonna be the one? No, just tell me about the one I already did. Because I thought ahead of time that would be one there. Go check the missive. Doubt whether there's gonna be a new quest through it though. They took my my engine away. So we're not making this thing fly, we're making something else fly. It was just there for when they needed to move it.
Did you see the pair that got hauled into tires?
My Lord Marquis, I heard about Eastpool. That some of my fellow Guardians are to build a new home there. Both for themselves and for Madame Martha's bearers. Is it true?
It's true. The village is to be rebuilt.
I have many fond memories of Eastpool. When I was a child, we would visit my aunt and uncle often. They would lavish attention upon me as if I were the son they never had. I went to see Aunt Hannah after my uncle passed away, but not nearly as often as I should have.
Oscar, I'd like you to assist Sir Wade in the rebuilding efforts.
But my lord, my training is not yet complete. I couldn't possibly.
I warned you I might not be the easiest of masters, but I'm not as hard-hearted as that. Go. Be with your aunt. Rebuild her home. Is what she would have wanted.
How would you know?
Yes, my lord. Thank you, my lord. I will not forget this kindness, my lord. I shall go to Eastpool, but as soon as the rebuilding work is complete, I promise to return.
So much for them turning in. So I'm wondering why Yote was keeping Joshua away from us at the tavern. It seemed like she didn't want us being reunited. That's a lovely texture you got there.
Sounds like thunder.
You're late. I was starting to think you'd stumbled off a cliff.
I seem to recall that was you, Gav.
Good to see you. Any trouble on the road?
Nothing we couldn't handle.
I knew you'd come.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes.
Allow me to introduce my brother, Joshua.
Clive's told me all about you. Or even listening most of the time. Name's Midadol, but everyone calls me Mid.
My lady.
Hey?
My boy.
Uncle Byron.
It's really you. I never thought I'd see the day.
So these Akashic are being controlled?
That's what it looked like. Empty eyes, eerie blue glow. No doubt they were turned, but silent as monks, every last one of them.
Your man here speaks true, Clive. We saw more than a few in this city. They moved in ranks with a purpose, and not of their own.
Ultima's doing.
Perhaps.
What of the city? The people?
Dead, mostly.
Mostly, but not all. A handful managed to lock themselves in their villas before the Horde arrived. Some in the Merchants' District to the west, and a few others on the far bank.
If the Akashic stumble across either hiding place, a few bolted doors won't hold them for long. We need to find them. And quickly.
What do you propose?
Kill everything.
We split into two parties. I will make for the Merchants' District, while you look to those across the river. Mind keeping an eye on my brother?
Not at all. We find the villa and try the servants' entrance.
Understood.
And what of us?
Mid, is she fit to sail?
The ship, the Mithril engine could probably do with a few more tweaks.
Then you better work fast. Even if we do reach the survivors in time, they'll never make it to the hideaway on foot.
You leave that to me.
See that Mid doesn't get herself into trouble, would you?
Think I can manage that?
I'll keep him safe.
Looks like you stuck with me, Byron.
That's Lord Rossfield, you little gutter snipe!
Shall we then?
And you keep Clive safe.
Be careful. Both of you.
You too.
Hope we're giving Torgal some minted beat. Otherwise his breath's going to be terrible for all the things he's attacking.
Alright, Torgal. Let's find those survivors.
Ew, look at the murky waters. Unless it's just rock underneath. Yeah, it might be rock. Still cleaner than London's river.
They don't stand a chance against those things.
Well, they're dead. What a shame.
They've been routed.
Wait, these level 20? Why are they level 20? Well, it looks like I'm not saving anyone.
Nice try. Nice try.
Right to the face. He's dead, Jim. The Akashic and the Orcs are working together.
What happened to the Royal Army? There's nothing but monsters here.
Here's to see if there would be an ether flood nearby. Probably going to be where... Oh, is there a crystal here? I can check the map. There's no crystal here. So it's not going to be wherever the sanctum would be. No secrets for me. Oh, he's dead. So is he.
This will be easy.
So close to killing in one cycle.
Nice try.
At least I got my store of potions back. I'll deal with you lot in a minute. They still have like a weird marketplace sound effect going on. You can hear people chattering. I think that's the most money I've ever got from a chest. And I don't need it.
That sounded big. Joshua and Jill must be busy.
Why would you aim it that way? Quite low there. I didn't want to cast this one, okay? His timing is so weird. Nope, wrong ability.
This is the Agora, where the city's leaders gather. There may still be survivors inside.
I doubt it. My jump's got higher. Maybe he doesn't jump as high when he's in safe zones.
Sniping's a good job, mate.
Morning, sniper.
Where are they?
Oh, this is an arena.
These creatures. Does Ultima's reach extend this far? What the hell is going on?
Where is your master? What does he want? Stay down.
How dare.
You've caused quite the commotion. But then I would expect no less from you, Muthos.
You again. I don't believe we've been introduced. You were in my family's crypt, and now you're here, with an army of Akashic thralls.
Manners, Lord Rossfield? They are men, like you and me. Albeit ones unburdened by the wills that drive our kind to madness. They are pure. They are divine.
What?
And they are all that remains in this once raucous city.
You'll pay for what you've done.
As you wish. I confess I have been very much looking forward to this. Pardon me this indulgence, Your Majesty. The vessel shall not be spoiled. I am Sleipnir of House Harvard, and you will yield.
So he likes to get ridden by Odin.
Not. As long as you don't hold back.
How dare I was charging.
Too slow.
Guy's a sponge.
Little trick.
Fuck. You will forgive me if my performance seems uninspired. It is just that I expected so much more from our chosen one. Perhaps this will kindle your flame?
What now?
A gift from my liege lord's armory. Gungnir. Watch closely, Muthos. Yes! Yes!
Good loaf of bronze. I thought that was going to be quicker than that. That was quicker.
Actually, I wouldn't.
Alright, Grey Fox. I think that's a new one, especially since it had that symbol on it. And exactly did he hail? He's a horse.
The vessel is strong. My liege.
Clive!
You're all right.
As are you, I see. We are, yes.
I'm sorry, but we couldn't save them.
It was over before we arrived.
Well, you did what you could. I fear we were all too late. What's wrong?
Nothing. I hope.
Tell us anyway. Looks like it was something.
Leaving so soon, Mythos?
It's the king.
Indeed. You may kneel before Barnabas Tharm, Warden of Ash and King of Waloed.
Get back.
They just disappear. Oh, no, there they are. But they're not on screen there.
Wild and impetuous, I I expected more of the boy who bested my Lord Commander. Yet I see why my master covets you so. The power within you, Mythos. The potential.
Stop calling me Mythos.
But Mythos is everything. The cornerstone of all creation. The Lord's vessel. Your purpose.
My purpose? To surrender my mind and body to that thing. No, Your Majesty. My purpose is my own. I made a promise to my friends, to my people. And nothing is going to stand in my way.
You would allow this delusion of free will to bar your path to greatness? Truly, your volition is a cancer. One that must be excised.
He was winning already. So do I need a better sword?
All the rest.
Joshua!
Oi! Oi! This way! Hurry!
Ah, Torgal's got my sword.
Power beyond reckoning, and they use it as a crutch. Such a waste.
Well, Jill's blind. Lost her eyes.
Will you be alright?
The phoenix can mend flesh, but the spirit must recover on its own. I'm afraid the rest is up to him.
That shirt better fits him than his weird
This
outfit.
is remarkable. Outfitting it must have been no small feat. But why go to such trouble?
That beauty's belly's filled with wonders the world ain't ready for. If the guilds caught wind of what we're up to, they'd all want a piece. All right?
And how is he? Do not blame yourself. He was barely breathing when you brought him here. We would have lost him if it were not for you.
No. Barnabas may have severed nigh every sinew in my brother's body. But he made certain the wounds were not fatal.
Nigh every sinew?
Allow me, your lordship. Don't know what I was thinking, putting you to the trouble like that.
'Tis no trouble carrying comestibles to my ailing nephew.
I know, but you've already done so much for us. Pouring your gil into the hideaway and now the ship. I don't want to take the piss.
You risked your life. And for what? Some girl you hardly know. Why'd you do it? You lot mad or something?
I wouldn't go that far.
Clive!
You're awake, my boy. Oh.
All I want to do is help. And the world won't save itself. It was Sid. Your father, who taught me that.
Sounds like him.
Don't you dare do that again.
No promises.
What of the Royalists?
Fucked off, the lot of them, along with the galleon. With the king on board, no doubt. Behind here, I wouldn't sail without him. Clive. Jill didn't come back.
What do you mean?
She kept the king busy while the others dragged you out.
It's all right, Mid. Jill is fine.
The ether of her icon endures. And as long as it does, we can be certain she is alive.
Is it not just going to pass to somebody else?
We must pursue the Black Galleon. Jill will be with the king, I'm sure of it.
Well, good luck catching him, because my ship's going nowhere. It's the Mithril engine. She's got a kick like a wild chocobo and a mind to tear the hull in half.
But you have an idea.
Well, of course I do. My dad'll have seen this coming a league off. If I had his old writings...
If you had his old writings, you'd be sitting under a fuckload of rubble. The ones Otto didn't save anyway. I suppose he might still have a few pages in his stores.
We'll have to hope it's enough. Do what you can to ready the ship. I'll speak with Otto.
In your condition, you really are mad.
Perhaps. But the world really won't save itself.
You never answered my question, Sniper. Why did you change your username colour? Well, you might have done. I might have just ADHD'd over it. More hunts. You just felt like a change. And we recovered to full.
Right. Gav said that Otto might know something.
Yeah, they just had a whole cutscene of us in that shirt and trouser affair. Can't we just wear that? It looks so much better than this. Maybe because it's a stark contrast of this clearly fantasy-inspired outfit and then just normal casual clothing. Also looked like it was a lot comfortable.
Goodness, you're as pale as a poltergeist. Why don't you sit down and have a nice bowl of Molly's brown? Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to Mid and the others? They'll be fine as long as Sid is... Oh.
What's up?
How are we supposed to do our duty when the hills are crawling with Akashic and the valleys are full of ether?
How indeed. My men and I lost an entire day avoiding a flood that wasn't there a fortnight ago.
Will you be heading back to Canberra soon? You let us know if you need an escort.
Or we just gonna suck up the ether floods. Power ourselves up.
Clive? But if you're here, where the hell is everyone else? Don't tell me.
They're all right. But it's a long story.
Yeah, I can teleport. Nobody else can.
You lot don't do things by halves, do you? Well, at least everyone's still breathing. Now, as for these writings, I'm sorry to say, Clive, but if you had those, you'd be...
Sitting under a pile of rubble, I know.
But we were able to save a few bits and pieces from the ruins, most of which ended up being used to build this place. The more personal items we gave to the next of kin. In the case of Sid's things, that would have been Mid.
Then I'll check the workshop.
How many more hunts do we got? One, and it's back a bit for some reason. Why? Why is it out of order when they would be unlocked? We're gonna show Talia our new wounds.
See to my boils if Tyre ain't around, eh?
Oh, she's not here. Where did the other fella go? I forgot his name.
Master Sid, have you seen His Highness the Prince? We were to dine together, or so I was going to suggest, before he vanished, that is. I suppose now I'll just have to ask the bard.
She even got dressed up for the prince with all that jewellery.
It says
Your
here
brand.
that once
We're going to have it
turned,
removed then.
an
Good choice,
Akashic
Emma.
is forever lost.
It's the only way they'll take me into the curse breakers.
Oh, good luck to you, buddy. Has a half chance of killing you.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, then...
Then everyone in Port Isolde's in danger.
Do you think Mid's ship will ever sail?
You saw that work of devilry on the deck, didn't you? The second fall of man is nigh.
This looks like it's from Sid's old diary. But you'll already have read it. I'd better keep looking.
You never know. She might not have opened it. Is that a Matryoshka doll? Bit weird shape, probably not.
We've had no word from Canva for days. Please tell me Mid is all right.
That leather loosener was only the first of the
I know this is your hideaway, but you really shouldn't be in here. If Mid caught you rifling through her research, she'd have your head, then mine for letting you.
How rude.
What do we have here? Oh. Sid's pipes. Something tells me Mid won't be needing these.
Oh, we're gonna go to the doll I was looking at. Meant to be a white
I
mage.
remember seeing this doll in Sid's cellar. I wonder if it was Mid's. Huh. What's this tucked inside it? Sid's best invention. Huh. That sounds promising. So Sid hid something in Mid's first opus. that be? Perhaps Otto might know.
Not gonna be a cauldron.
Miss Shirley, how can we learn to be clever like Miss Middledore?
You can start by paying attention during your lessons.
But he wants the quick way out. Just give him some intelligence material.
I was thinking I might pen a novel of my own.
Yeah, it's the same.
To tell the
one.
story of the hideaway.
Sid, heard you were in Canva fetching young Med.
Yes. Gilbard? What? Was he named after the ancient Gilbard? Wonder how common a name that is.
He's a surly soaker. Who cares less for us than the irony hammers?
Blackthorn can seem a little dark at times, yes, but under all that soot is a heart of gold.
The realm's crops are all being harvested early for fear they won't grow under these skies. Nothing's being left to go to seed.
Well, then we'll need to make certain that our seeds last.
I think she wants his seed.
If the plants here in our garden cannot draw enough nourishment from the sun, we must provide it to them through alternative means. Via the soil, perhaps.
Gonna get some sun blooms.
A trader from across the sea once told me that on the continent they play music for their crops. Would you like that, Martel?
Is that a seedling of the big tree?
Is there out you need? There's no one like our Nan.
You would really call Goops a waste of space. Look how tall he is. He's like 8 feet.
Your lad's worth double that. And I've never looked back. You take care now.
Yeah, I don't know how tall Clive is meant to be. We'll say 6 feet. Goots is easily 7.
Do you have a name, doggy? I'd call you Torgal, but that one's already taken.
If it's knowledge you seek, we've tomes aplenty to guide you in your search.
Those tomes wouldn't happen to have letters in them, would they?
Gonna guess no, but let's see if they added that outfit to this. Nope. This game only have one outfit. Kinda fancy. I think I might prefer that. Surprised with how the publishing side of Square Enix is going. They didn't sell more of this as DLC. I mean, this gold horse armor was already in the game. Don't know what expansions it came with though.
Let me tell you a story, Clive.
All right.
Them rumours Wetlegs were spreading. Might be they weren't just tales plucked out of thin air. You see, there were a time when I weren't too particular about who I sold steel to, so long as they paid me the right price. Some women lust after blood, others after flesh, but me, I were always one for gold. And to satisfy that lust, I sold to opposing armies, stabbed my every client in the back, made myself the most hated woman in the twins. But then one day I met a man who made me a different kind of offer. Said he'd give me access to a realm-wide community of like-minded individuals in constant need of steel and sundries. On the condition I sold to him and his alone.
Was that the first time you met Sid?
Aye. And I fell right into his damn trap. He was true to his word, so I ended up being true to mine. And I soon started making the best profits I've seen since taking up the trade. And all without aiding or abetting any outlaws. Except Sid himself, that is. Told me about his plan to topple the mother crystals, you know. Said that with them gone, the realm would want for all manner of things. An opportunity for the likes of me to mint gil. Why, I reckon an enterprising individual could find himself the richest dam in the twins. And that's when he had me. I emptied my stores that day and moved into the Hideaway proper. And the rest, as they say, is ancient bloody history. A dozen years on, and I'm still not the richest dam. Not for lack of trying, mind. But I can say that I have never been happier. You've all shown me there are some things more precious than gil.
Oh, that's a guy you always have.
So don't you go messing it all up. Or you'll have me to answer to.
Sure, we'll survive.
Clive. That great lump. No. Go on then.
Rune blade. Wow, I could just buy something that's better than the thing we're currently upgrading. It might be a case of we can upgrade our current one anyway. Rune belt. Rune crescents, which is an upgrade.
It'd better all be here. Come again.
Go look to see if we can make the next sword of what we got.
Bothered either way.
So what do I owe the honour? What's saying Fordian, do you?
We could just make a rune blade. That's a lot of damage. Okay, so the boss gave us stuff to make it just a normal weapon and not progress our normal one. Our, like, icon blade.
Not bad, if I do say so myself.
Oh, that's a bit risky to allow a player to do. Just waste the sanguine insignias.
my best work, but it'll do. Yeah, that should do you. You can thank me later.
Still need to do some hunts for that.
Anything else?
What if you refight the boss, they'll give their item again?
Best of I reckon I can find a buyer. I'll be thankful you got that much. Is that all?
You look like you could do with a drink. Well, someone's in a good mood. Drink up, you lot. The next round's on Sid. Oh, keep your mug handy.
Which song should we listen to?
All of them.
I don't think I have many orchestration rolls on me. Is this actually just a no song?
Those imps are going to break that thing. You just watch.
You don't know what you're talking about. The odor's what gives Chance's stew its, depth. And that's what makes it superior to any old lizard livers.
They're not lizards, they're wyverns.
Please, have you even tried the fried mortress? Taste, smell, texture. It beats your beloved stew hands down on every count. Now that's a masterpiece.
I'm gonna fill this table with different opinions.
We all know that bearers have a resilience to the ill effects of ether. But don't you find it strange that there are those who, despite being free of magic's burden, can seemingly pass through a flood without consequence? I asked our luresman how this could be, and he suggested that it might have something to do with bloodlines. Many of the realm's dominants are born to specific families, you see. The Rasfields, the Lesages. So there must be something in those families' blood that provides them with the potential to become vessels for icons. But what about the ones who don't awaken? Could it be that this same potential provides them with something of the same immunity? Your uncle's recent travels with you across the ether-ravaged countryside would certainly suggest so. And yet, what about Gav? Well, in smaller, more isolated populations, bloodlines are less diluted. Hence, Shiva's dominant sometimes awakening in the child of a common northerner. And our scouts not having turned 100 times over.
I mean, if they're saying Shiva can go to anybody, I think the Archons can go to anybody. They just want to go to the bloodline.
I know my letters.
Most of them, anyway.
Very well. The more eyes we have poring over these tomes, the sooner we'll find answers about these skies.
Sid, did you know that chocobos are far more resilient to the effects of ether than
Is he just stuck on the same page because he can't read
Some say that's one
anymore?
of the reasons they were tamed for use as mounts and something.
I was wondering when next you'd visit. What subject
So
shall we
close.
consider today? You are always welcome, Clyde.
It's like we're getting close to getting all those filled out. We're going by the progression of the bars. Oh, why are you here?
Lord Marquis, you seem unwell. I know His Grace has asked that I remain here with your people. But if you were to require my services, I could leave for the Free Cities at once.
Just need some potions.
Well, did you find anything? Possibly. You wouldn't happen to know what Mid's first opus was?
Opus? That girl's as tone deaf as a banshee. Unless you mean the orchestrion. She couldn't have been more than, what, 11, 12 when she cobbled that thing together? It surprised us all. Not least her dad. You should have seen how proud he was of the little scamp. What's that battered old box have to do with anything?
I think Sid may have hidden something inside it.
Wouldn't surprise me. Those two and their bloody treasure hunts. Half the things in the hideaway were hidden one time or another.
But I was just there. I'm gonna be annoyed if, when I'm gonna buy up all the equestrian rolls at the end, that there's bonuses for collecting certain percentages.
Who's that?
I didn't break it. Well, I didn't break it.
What didn't you break?
Nothing. We didn't break nothing. We definitely didn't break the orchestrion.
What's wrong with it?
It's broken. Except when it isn't. See?
And you had nothing to do with this?
Nope, nothing. We just wanted to listen to all the songs at once. So we pressed all the buttons. Like this. See?
All too well. All right, out of the way.
We gotta press them in a certain order.
Something caught on one of the gears.
Did you break it? Can you fix it?
No, I mean, yeah, yes. There. How about now?
You fixed it! Sid fixed it! He more than fixed it! Yeah, new music!
Huh. Never heard this one before.
They started playing when I removed this. Whatever it is.
Well, don't look at me. I can tell you it's important, though.
It's a
He
machine.
showed it to me once and said as much. Said it was the stuff dreams were made of. Let's just hope it's the stuff ships are made of as well.
Indeed. Let's see if we can make some dreams come true.
Money, money, money.
Just the two I was looking for.
I was looking for you too.
Alright. Who's a patient?
Actually, yes. The Crown Prince just left.
Dion left?
Unless you've another word for stood up and walked off. Yes, left. He did have the decency to leave a message with Obelisk before commandeering one of his dinghies. Should we go after him?
No. We're not the Prince's keepers. He's free to do as he sees fit.
I'd rather he did so in bed. His wounds are nowhere near healed. Much like yours, I suspect. Otto told me what happened in Canver. What is it with this realm's princes and their aversion to rest?
Ask me when I get back. Though I may be sometime.
Then at least try to stay safe.
And if that fails, try to stay alive, eh?
Every moment I waste here, the further the flagship sails. I have to get back.
Wasting moments, you say? Well, as just so happens, there's more quests. There's 3 of them, jeez.
He's a surly soaker.
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I believe I have a solution.
I can't wait to hear it.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards with Morbles. I know, but hear me out. Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives them appears to be maintained by an abundance of nutrient-rich ether drawn from their environs. I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor-inducing nutrients might well stimulate the flower to bloom. The endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory.
Sure. That's what can give me the item I need for grafting.
And all you need is a single vine from an ordinary Morble.
That is correct. A single vine. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. But, as luck would have it, a most extraordinary specimen is rumored to haunt the swamps of Rosaria. Why, a notice concerning this very creature was only recently posted on the hunt board.
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have much to do, as do I. Now, where did I put my watering can?
This could be the same place we fought before.
Those who encountered this Morble in Rosaria claim it was as large as a house. Think of all the ether it must have consumed to attain such a prodigious size. Its vines will be bursting with untold vigor.
Prodigious. Heard that word a lot watching. Pretty sure it was a catchphrase in Digimon.
Sid! Heard you were in Canva fetching young Ned.
Miss Shirley, how can we learn to be clever like Miss Medidol?
I never really go up here anymore. Because it's annoying to go up. Is the assassin for Sid still here?
Will we ever see the sky again?
You can see it. It's right there. In all of its low texture quality.
Have you noticed there are more ether floods these days? Some say the skies are to blame, but then there were ether floods before all this, weren't there? Makes you wonder.
I've also yet to find a Biggs or a Wedge in this release.
Do you think Mid's ship will ever sail? If Amber and the Lazarus are gone,
She can't keep this up much longer.
Breathe. It'll all be over soon.
Been using too much magic.
Glory to Griga. There you are. And not a moment too soon.
What's happened?
Taya's busy working herself into an early grave. Since the arrival of her latest patient, she's refused to stop, even for a moment. I've tried offering to see to him in her stead, but she won't hear of it. Clive, she hasn't left the infirmary in days. She's pushing herself too hard.
That's a lie.
If she doesn't rest soon, will you talk to her? Order her to her chambers if that's what it takes. Because if she keeps this up, I fear the hideaway will be without its best physica before too long.
You came to see me just now, so you did leave the infirmary.
I know better than to order Taya to do anything, but I'll speak to her.
Thank you. I pray you have better luck than I did. Say whatever you must, but get her to rest. I'm not physica enough to fill her shoes should we lose her.
Just gonna be another thing we give a response that doesn't matter.
Well, Taya, Rodriguez worried about you. And if what he says is true, then so am I. We all admire your dedication, but you do need to rest.
I will, when it's time. Until then, I'm staying put. We owe him that much.
Who is he?
Someone from my past. Someone who doesn't deserve to die alone. It won't be much longer. The crystal's curse has almost finished its work. If I had the tears, I could ease his passing. But without them, we've nothing that will touch the agony of those last few hours.
How would tears help this man?
Not my tears. Tears of mercy. Alicia, it's the only thing strong enough.
You wouldn't, Taya. Surely. There must be something we can do for him.
Sometimes an easy death is the greatest kindness we can offer. You do well to remember that, Rodriguez.
I will. We have all the ingredients we need for Alicia Balwam. It needs to be fresh, though, so we rarely have much to hand. I can make the draft if you can bring me what we're missing.
Just tell me what you need.
There is a species of venom-weeping spider that lives in the forests of Norvent, near Lorbert's Pass. Bring me one of their eyes. Preserve it as best you can, but avoid contact with the tears. I'll make sure the other ingredients are ready before you return.
Thank you, Clive. I won't forget this. If it was me lying there, I know he'd do me the same kindness.
A mightling?
It will take me some time to prepare the other ingredients. Time enough for you to make for the old road north of Lostwing and return with that eye.
All right, Clive. Blackthorn told me you helped him out again. Tough for that. Speaking of which, I'm actually a bit,
Worried about him. And you want my advice?
afraid so. It's a bit of a funny one, this, but I saved this posh knob while I was out on a mission, and he gave me this flashy ring to say thank you. So, obviously, I show it to Blackthorn, thinking he'll be impressed, only for him to go white as a sheet and quiet as a curl instead. Try as I might, I can't for the life of me work out what could have got him upset like that. And seeing as how Blackthorn opens up when you're around, I thought maybe
I'd speak to him again. Well, I suppose there's no point leaving him to stew.
Cheers, Clive.
I'll be sure to pay him a visit as soon as I have a moment.
All right, I'll meet you by the forge then. You come along when you're ready.
This is like, what, the 4th time we've spoken to Blackthorn about something? Oh, just one more thing. It's called carrot. Lovely. Because it's orange or red? Oh, it's like a dangler from the those fish I always forget the name of.
Go on then. They're all waiting for you. Wouldn't want them saying I kept you.
Will you be heading back to Canver soon? You let us know if you need an escort.
Cole said it was an army of Akashic. What will happen to Mid and the others?
Sorry to drag you into this again, but you're the only one he'll open up to.
Bloody hell, Clive. Not this again. Ain't you got better things to do with your time?
That remains to be seen. August tells me he showed you a ring, and that the sight of it clearly upset you. Would you mind telling us why?
Come on, mate. Bottling it up ain't gonna help no one. If it weren't the ring, and it was something I said, then I'm sorry.
It was the ring, right? It brought back some unhappy memories, that's all. Memories better left forgotten.
Memories of what?
There are things we'd all rather leave behind, Blackthorn. But sometimes it helps to talk about them.
And sometimes it doesn't. Is that so hard to understand?
Don't be like that.
Fine. If it'll get you off my back. That ring you flashed was the work of Zoltan. We apprenticed together, back in the day.
You've never mentioned him before.
Why would I? Ain't seen him in decades, and the last time I did, we almost came to blows. The ring brought it all back. I could tell it was one of his the moment I saw it. Bastard's improved, though. More than I thought possible. That thing's a work of art.
So it was a nice ring. Worth a few gil, maybe. What's it matter to you?
It matters because engraving metal's a nightmare, and I've got no bloody idea how he managed it. The fact is, I couldn't make anything even half that detailed.
So what? You're an armorer, not a jeweler.
I'm the Hideaway's master craftsman. I'm not stealing a living at some backwater village forge. My armor keeps you lot safe and my swords keep you dangerous. As far as I'm concerned, every swing of my hammer's another blow struck in the name of our cause. So I put my heart and soul into my work. Because the curse breakers deserve better than second best. And I refuse to be shown up by the likes of Zoltan.
Very well. Why don't we go and pay him a visit? Learn his secret.
I doubt he'd be too happy to see me.
Then just this once. Make peace with being second best. Swallow your pride, and focus all your energies on the task at hand. Keeping the curse breakers armed and armored. Provided you can do that, you'll hear no complaints from me. But if you can't, and it's going to distract you, we need to do something about it.
What'd you say, Blackthorn? You know he's right. And it's not like you'll be going alone.
All right.
Magic. So, where do you reckon old what's-his-name is then? Zoltan, was it?
In Dravozd, my old village. He won't have left. He's the chief.
Dravozd, eh? That rings a bell. Not far from Tabor, right? Just north of the fields of Carava. Got that, Clive? Meet us at Dravozd as soon as you can, yeah? And I'll make sure Blackthorn don't get cold feet.
Good luck with that. I'll see you there.
Yeah, after all the other things I gotta go do. Things. Well, there's fields of Carava, so, but I think I have that other hunt to do here. It helps that there's the quest there as well. You have a path sobered up to me? I was gonna link up with that drop down.
If all of us continue to work together in defending Delamel, I foresee good things for this town.
Especially with Lubor leading us. I'd say he has the makings of a minister.
Welcome.
He was taking quite a
on the road?
front-facing position.
And with our steel.
Those bandits were on the receiving end.
Mummy, are the bad men going to come back?
The gentlemen of the town guard are a strapping bunch.
New tunes you got. I wish I could listen to these rolls before buying them.
Anything I can interest you in?
Oh, Runeblade. Right. I don't know why this grey one is worth 10 times the price of the rare one.
Fare you well.
We haven't seen the last of those bastards. But when they attack again, we'll be ready for them.
Yeah, Dusnoff.
Let's go.
This might take a while. Thanks, Gal.
How do you survive? There's the comet. I never changed my other guild thing over. Or ability points. Or Dread Comet, not Dead Comet.
That's like no chocobo I've ever seen. Something
Choco
tells me
beat
it
you.
won't be easily broken.
Oh, he's got the same attacks as the other thing I just fought. It's got no break gauge. He's easy to stagger, so it's possibly just an easier fight. I could spam my Bahamut lasers from the sky, but no, I've got everyone going at a time. Is this ever gonna end?
Nice try.
Jesus, almost killed me.
It's over.
Lovely gently.
Poor beast. There was nothing I could do.
Wide open mouth and death.
Ready, go? Yeah!
Come on. Faster.
Right like the wind, bullseye.
No holding back. Yes!
Kicked down already?
No. This charmer ain't letting anyone through.
Why are the gates closed?
Chief's orders. No one's allowed in without his say-so. Not that I'd have let you in anyway. You look like trouble. I suggest you go home.
That's what I'm trying to do, you little prick. Ain't changed a bit, have you, Snotty?
No. It isn't. Blackthorn.
Long time no see, eh?
What the hell are you doing here?
Well, it was meant to be a surprise, but since you asked so nicely, I'm here to see Zoltan, you fucking numbskull. Now let us through.
All right. Just don't go starting anything with the chief.
Yeah, I promise I won't throw the first punch. That good enough for you?
Go on then.
Thank you, Vit.
Much obliged.
So this is Dravosht. Not much going on, is there?
It's a smithing town. When I was a lad, you'd have to shout to be heard over the sound of hammer on anvil. Clive, you're good with people. You speak to Zoltan.
Hey, you ain't backing out now, are you?
There's a river of bad blood between me and the chief. But if someone can build me a bridge, then I'll cross it.
All right. I'll see what I can do.
We're good at speaking, are we?
He'll be near the forge on the hill. It was our master's. He'd have inherited it when I left.
Forge on the hill.
Good luck. You'll be needing it.
Can I buy anything here? They do have a shop.
Wonder why Blackthorn and Zoltan fell out. Hammer envy?
Our master always liked to keep an eye on the village. That's why he built his forge up on the hill.
Get the chickens. Chase the chickens.
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Shut your hole. The chief will think of something.
Makes sense, I suppose. Get some flint, make your own fire. What are you selling? Not a whole lot, to be honest. Seems kind of pointless. This anyway.
Certainly.
So much money.
Sorry, but if none of you lot can smell ore anymore, we're gonna have to start looking for new clients.
Ha! Good luck finding anyone else who can make a fire worth a damn.
Guess we're gonna take a trip into the Warrens.
My long years have things been as bad as they are now. Without magic to feed the furnaces, we're doomed.
The chief doesn't seem to think so. Let's not give up hope just yet, eh?
They've got fire in here. Use this. We're just going to teach them how to make bellows.
Is there anything we can do to help? It doesn't seem fair, the menfolk having to deal with all this on their own.
I've started putting peas and pulses in the pot. They fill the same hole for a fraction of the price of meat.
Mama, why hasn't Papa come back yet?
He's helping the chief with something very important. You go back inside now.
Is he though? Is he really?
Should be enough to last us a few moons, at least.
Is there actually writing of any sort on that? But she didn't disappear. It seems like it says something. I don't think there's any setting to stop people disappearing though. Is that meant to be different types of bunny?
Hotter! Hotter, damn it! Those miserable flames wouldn't melt butter, let alone iron.
Pardon the intrusion. I'm looking for the chief.
That'd be me.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
I'll bet it is. Keep the gates closed, I tell him. Well done, Snotty. You're not welcome here. Get out. Before things turn nasty.
Blackthorn's here.
What did you say?
He's traveled a long way to see you.
Yes, has he?
He's waiting. Down by the gates.
Then I suggest you take him with you when you leave.
Didn't you apprentice together?
So what if we did?
Fuck! We're getting nowhere. These bearers' flames are next to bloody useless.
We're never going to be able to fire up the forges unless we can find some new crystals.
I'm a busy man, as you can see, so do me a favor and piss off. Oh, and if you're struggling to find your way out, ask Blackthorn. That prick knows exactly where the exit is. He's not wanted here. And neither are you.
You don't want some bellows?
All right. I'm going.
Please, Chief, you've got to do something. If this keeps up, we'll be ruined.
Just take your items, you won't need these hides. What good's an handle if you don't have a sword?
It's no use. The flames just aren't hot enough.
I suppose we could try working copper instead, if we had the ore.
I thought I'd made myself clear. Piss off.
Bollocks. So bearer's magic's no more use than the crystals.
We could try making a bunch of them do it at once.
That's my obituary written then. The man who closed the doors on his great-grandfather's forge.
Oh, don't say that. It's not over yet. Let me help.
You gonna blow air into the fire?
But if we can't fire the forges, how are we going to earn our keep?
Let me guess. Zoltan told you to piss off.
As a personal favor to him, yes.
Well, at least he didn't beat about the bush.
There'll be no talking him round. Not after what I did.
Which is what exactly? If we're to help, we need to know. What turned the village against you?
I left. Dravozd. Zoltan. The burden of leadership our dying master dropped in our laps. All of it. There are two kinds of smiths in this world, you see. My kind, who are in it for the love of the craft, who labour on a single piece from dawn to dusk to get it just right. And the other kind, who are in it for different reasons. People like Zoltan, whose work is quick and cheap. The kind of smiths who shit out a few hundred blades, reap the profit, and divvy it out among themselves. There wasn't a single day we weren't at each other's throats. And bit by bit, people started taking sides. You would have torn Dravozd in half had it gone on. So, I left.
You didn't have to do that.
Zoltan's a better chief than I would have been. His way of doing things kept food on people's tables. Dravozd prospered without me and my lofty ideals getting in the road. Until the crystals run out at any rate. Without magic to fire the furnaces, this place is as good as dead.
It depends on how you look at it, though. There's got to be other ways of making fire. We manage it in the Deadlands.
Thanks to Sid's ingenuity, yeah. He saw all of this coming. Knew crystals were the problem, not the solution. And spent years coming up with ways of doing without.
You know what I mean, though, right? Where there's a will, there's a way. What I'm trying to say is that it's not your fault. You couldn't have predicted this.
It doesn't matter whose fault it is. I don't want to be the greatest smith alive just because I happen to be the last. Clive. Dravozd won't last long without its furnaces. So, do you think it's time we shared Sid's bellows with the world? The way I see it, it's your decision to make.
Hold on, Blackthorn. Sid made those things for us. They give us an edge over the rest. And you'd be throwing it away.
All right. Do it. This place was your home. I won't abandon it to its fate. Sid's creations were never meant to be hoarded. It was only ever a matter of time before we shared them. Let this be another step on the road to freeing Valisthea from the prison of the Crystal's blessing. Dravozd will show the world that it's possible. Wouldn't you agree, August?
When you put it that way.
As long as we can take all their bearers.
It's like hearing Sid speak from beyond the grave.
Thank you, Clive.
Shall I go and fetch the plans, then?
I know I'm off by heart. I'll be needing some help, though. Building a furnace isn't exactly a one-man job. Do us a favour and round up anyone strong enough to lug a brick or two with you, August.
All right, then.
And I've got a job for you too, Clive. Finding me some salamander skin. I need leather for the bellows and nothing else will withstand the heat. Luckily for us, salamanders feed out in the fields of Carava.
Time for a spot of hunting, then.
Morning at prison. I'd say you were up early, but you were up now half hour ago.
To make those bellows, but salamander skin
It's
was
because
the
of
only kind that
DST
worked.
changing.
Luckily for all our sakes, salamanders aren't too hard to find around these parts.
Going back on ourselves? Yes, we are. What's going to be up there then?
Don't worry, I'll get Blackthorn the help he needs. Once I've worked out who hates us the least.
Buff, we...
Oh, I suppose we'll get some early lunch in. I am hungry. Blame stomach issues at night. So, double save just in case. Go make some lunch and then come back. We can move into Remnant 2 with Uprisen. Maybe Stewie. He hasn't replied just yet.